Okay, General Winfield Scott now moved an army of 10,000 soldiers into the heart of Mexico. A series of battles that had little point killed thousands of people on both sides. Finally, the armies of the two nations met to fight for control of Mexico City. A Mexican merchant wrote to a friend about the American conquest of the city. In some cases, whole blocks were destroyed and a great number of men, women, and children killed and wounded. In spite of their victories, the American soldiers were getting tired of marching, fighting, and risking death. Desertions were a problem. It means people just refusing to fight in the army anymore. In March 1847, the army reported over 1,000 deserters. More than 9,000 deserted over the course of the war. In northern Mexico, volunteers from Virginia, Mississippi, and North Carolina rebelled against their commander. He killed one of the mutineers. That's somebody who's refusing to fight in the army. But two of his lieutenants refused to help him stop this mutiny. The army later forged the rebellious soldiers. Oh, excuse me. The army later forgave the rebellious soldiers in order to keep the peace. The glory of victory was for the president and the generals, not for the deserters, the dead, and the wounded. Many men felt anger towards those who had led them into deadly conditions and battles where so many had died. One group, the Massachusetts Volunteers, had started with 630 men. They came home with 300 dead, mostly from disease. A celebration dinner on their return, at a celebration dinner on their return, the men hissed at their commander. Some volunteers who made it home ended up with little to show for their soldiering. The government had promised them land, but speculators immediately showed up to buy the land from them. Many of the men, desperate for money, sold their 160 acres for less than $50. When Mexico surrendered, some Americans thought that the United States should take the whole country. Instead, it took just half. In February 1848, Mexico and the United States signed the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. The treaty, in the treaty, Mexico gave the entire Southwest and California to the United States. It also agreed that the border between the two nations was the Rio Grande. The United States, in turn, agreed to pay Mexico $15 million. This let people say that the nation's new territories were bought, not seized by force. One American newspaper claimed that we take nothing by conquest. Thank God.